Good morning. Today we add one more subject in our study on the MAPA classes, and this subject is Indian economy. Today's session will be only basics session. We only know about what is the economics and what is the need of economics. Economics is in existence since the birth of the human. Now first, what is the need of economics? Ancient time, the population is low and the resources are more. That time, humans use resources according to their will. But on passing the time, the population increases, but resources goes down. This creates in the mind of human the thought of the management, how to manage the resources, how to use these resources. This creates a term of economics. Before the modern period of economics, there is a barter system for exchange. A human being need one thing, he or she has to pay the another thing in exchange of that thing. Now come to the word economics. Economics, the origin of the word economics is from the Greek word oikonomia, which literally means household management. Economics is the social science because economics is related to the society. That's why it is a social science of production, distribution and consumption of goods and services. How a person produces the goods, how he distributes these goods, and how he consumes the goods and services. And economics is also a study of how individual, businesses and the government allocate the resources that are produced by an individual or a government or a business. Distribution of resources and consumption of the resources. If we talk about the need of economics, because resources are limited and the consumers are unlimited, that's why we start the term economics. Second is the scarcity of resources create the thought of economics. If we move toward the books, one book written by the Adam Smith, a father of modern economics, The Wealth of Nations. gives a definition economics as a science of wealth. Adam Smith emphasized on the word wealth. He said, economics is an inquiry into the nature and the causes of wealth of nation. Adam Smith said, what is the nature and the causes of the wealth of nation? To inquire in nature and the causes. Next, the Adam Smith expand economics as a study of how nations create and expand their wealth. According to Adam Smith, economics is a wealth. If we move on another book, The Principles of Economics, published in 1890 by the Alfred Marshall. He defines the economics as the science of material well-being. He turns the word wealth into welfare. He gives the definition of economics. Economics is a study of the mankind in the ordinary business of life. In daily life, mankind do the works. The study of that works is known as economics. How he manages their system, how he create goods and like that. Third is the Professor Lionel Robbins. In his book, The Nature and Significance of Economic Science in 1932, he changed the wealth into the science of making choice. Because if we have only one thing in a market, we have only one marker, we have to choose only this. But we have a different type of markers for any of the, we take the second example of watches. If we have watches of one company, then we have no choice to choose, but economics create the choices. Professor Lionel Robbins changed the welfare into the science of making choices. He defines economics is the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and the scarce means which have alternative uses. Next one is the Paul Samuelson. He tells economics is the study of dynamic growth and development. He changed choice into growth and development. He tells economics is the study of how man and society choose with or without money, how use of the scarce resources, like that. In today's class, we learn only about the basics of economics. How the first time by the Adam Smith economics was wealth, and the next by Alfred Marshall economics is the welfare. Next by the Professor Lionel Robbins economics is the science of choices, and by the Paul A. Samuels economics is the science of growth and development. With this, we end our session. We will meet in next video with the new term of economics and the what is the difference between economy and economics.